about multiple sources of income. So there's 3 avenues that give the sources of income. And when you have sources of income, what is great about having multiple sources of income is that if something happens to your job, you lose it, or anything, you get laid off, well, you got multiple sources of income, which means money coming in from many directions. So what are the 3 main points? First of all, there is real estate. Okay, real estate. So in real estate, you can buy and hold, you can foreclosures and do flippers, and you can do tax certificates. I personally do buy and hold strategy. I buy and hold multiplex. So like I'll buy a fourplex, I'll make sure it cash flows, and I make sure that it has enough revenues or income coming in to cover all the expenses, plus a little bit for my mortgage. So I go for the buy and hold strategy because for the simple fact that I don't want to pay taxes. I don't want to pay taxes short term, because if you're doing flippers, well, you're buying now and 1 year from now you're selling, so it makes your taxes a lot more complicated. And the second strategy, like foreclosures and flippers, well, I don't really believe in this strategy. It's not something that I do, and that goes with my principles. I'm more of a long-term type of guy. So when I go, I try to buy something that's already cash flowing, so I don't need for the short-term solution to make some money. The third one I have a lot of experience with is tax liens. This is one of my favorite ways to make money because it's easy to make money. You can make a 10% return in about 30 to 45 days. So you borrow money, you put it in a tax certificate liens, but that can change depending on every city you live in. So in my city, you get a 10% for the first half of the year, and when it gets into January, well, you make another 10%. And if the person that has the house doesn't buy the house, rebuys the house, well, you can take the property for 1/3 of the price. So it's a very good way. Buy and hold is also something that works for the long term. Now, the second multiple sources of income stream that you could see is from investing. So you can invest in index funds, which tracks the overall market. I personally think it's a great strategy for someone that doesn't know a lot about stocks and wants to get into real estate or investing. It's a really good way to invest because it just follows the market, and you, like, over the long run, it makes about 7% return. So index funds is something that I would recommend. Buy and hold, tax, and index funds is something that I recommend for making multiple sources of income. You can do accelerated stocks strategies. I don't really recommend anything that has to do with speculation, because I have some experience in that domain, and what I can say is that I lost $100,000 over here. A good thing that most of my strategies, I was able to accumulate a $2 million portfolio, but just in one domain, sources of income, I lost $100,000. So I would really avoid anything that has to do with speculating in stocks, short term, anything like that. And the third option in investing is options. I don't really recommend options because I have a hard time to see how you can make money with all the fees, and especially is that you have to risk a lot. You have to go out of the money so much to get that high return that the probabilities of that happening for me is almost zero. Or if you buy something in the money, Well, you're gonna get about 1 to 1, so it means you're risking about 1% for 1% of profit. So it's not something that I recommend. Now the third avenue is marketing. It can be like writing a book, which I wrote 3 books in my life. I really recommend writing books because it's not easy, it's really hard to write the book, but once the book is up and running on, like I published on Amazon, so it becomes almost like an automatic system that makes you money every month. Books. And the second one, licensing, it's not something that I have any experience in, so I'm not gonna really talk about it. And the third way, which I have some experience, is affiliate. I think affiliate marketing is the best way to make money. You have 0 overhead. You don't even have to have a product. You don't even have to have inventory. You don't even have to have money to start. What you need is a great strategy to generate traffic to a site, and people click on that site, and what you need is a great conversion rate for people to buy, and you need some good affiliate connections. You could affiliate with pretty much any company out there. So I really recommend this strategy if you wanted to make some money in the long run, and it's going to be one source of income that you need to have in your sources of income. So I recommend affiliate, books, index funds, tax-ins, and buy and hold multiplex in real estate. So if you find this information useful, don't forget to subscribe, and please turn on your notification bell because I will be posting pretty much every day. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.